No. Hi folks, Kevin here again. So today I'm going to be looking at my geocaches. I am here in a place called Clare Glens on the border between County Tipperary and Limerick, where there is a nice river running through a sandstone gorge. I have altogether 7 geocaches here, and I have to periodically maintain them, so change logbooks, etc. Here is a map of the Clare Glens itself. It's the Clare River flows down through the valley, which is dominated by sort of a red sandstone. You'll see some more of that later on. And the idea is to go up clockwise all the way to the very far end, cross over, and then come back down. And I have geocaches dotted along this route. So I'm here today with my younger brother Andy, who you may recognize from my previous videos. So yeah, we're back on home soil. So Andy's coming along with me to the Clare Glens to go for a walk, stretch the legs. This is Clare Glens Bridge, and the road that crosses over it links the towns of Newport and Maru. I'm standing on the Tipperary bank of the Clare River, and on the opposite side is the County Limerick. Here we have a bit of a internet sensation. This is known as apparently the Coffey or the Clare Glens Lifting Stone, and it became a bit of a sensation on Instagram recently, where people were going around Ireland and finding different lifting stones and then, well, lifting them. This one weighs 188 kilograms, and there's no way in hell I'm even going to attempt this. But check out Instagram and look for the Coffey or the Clare Glens lifting stone. You'll see people actually lifting them right off the ground and up to their chests. Very impressive, but also kind of crazy. The square nature of the stone says to me, at least, that it may have been originally, I'm just guessing, but it may have originally been cut to actually build the stone bridge, which is just over there behind the trees. And this is also made from local stone. It's sandstone. So apparently people found it in the heritage archives, and it was, as it was described, from the 1800s, and it was actually in the river, and they lifted it out of the river and have left it here. Nice to see that nobody's bothered to try and lift it up and roll it back into the river again. So yeah, the Coffey or Clare Glens lifting stone. I said I wouldn't try, but no. Okay, here we go, into the Clare Glens. Since the last time I've been here, they've installed 2 new footbridges. The centre bridge, which was wooden, has been replaced, and also the metal bridge at the very far end of the glen. So let's go and see. Oh, it's slippery. So let's go and see basically what they look like. Apparently our local politicians have managed to secure quite a bit of money to renovate this Tipperary side of the Clare Glens, and the 2 bridges are the first stages, and we've noticed some wooden stakes that have been painted blue with marks on trees also along the trail so far, where presumably they're going to be putting in park benches or something else. But these actually haven't come online just yet. I suspect it'll happen in 2025. So here we have one of my geocaches. This one is called Green Tunnel because of the vegetation around here, and just checking to make sure that everything's okay. Yeah, inside the box is a little bit wet. they tend to split and crack when the weather freezes sometimes, so, or people don't close them properly. This area was once part of an estate that belonged to the Barrington family. As such, there are quite a few plant species here that aren't native to Ireland but are more ornamental, you could say. Here the vegetation is dominated by large stands of rhododendrons, which later on in the spring and summer will produce beautiful purple coloured flowers. Unfortunately though, it becomes a bit of a pest because it grows aggressively and blocks out light from native species. Okay, now the vegetation has changed again. We're out beyond the rhododendrons and the laurel, and we're into more native species. You've got like hazel and ash, and as you can see there's a lot more light this time of year, especially. These beautiful stands of hazel look quite exotic because they're covered in moss and also some ferns, and as such I thought it would be a nice place to put another geocache. Believe it or not, this is a geocache. Well, better said, it's a geocache cover, and it's weathered very, very nicely, so make it blend in quite nicely with its surroundings. You just open the top, and then we've got the geocache inside. Yeah, this logbook is actually full. Okay, so I've got a new official geocache log in the container, and it simply goes into its hidey hole, and voila, it's nice and hidden. Yeah, one of the more recent additions to the glens has been these duckboards, which for anybody who's ever come up along the Tipperary side as opposed to the Limerick bank path, they know that there are areas along this side of the bank which is basically a mudfest, and so these duckboards are a very welcome addition, and hopefully there will be more in the future. So this is the upper bridge, formerly known as the metal bridge. It is, you can see it's no longer metal, it has wooden frames and is built along the same design as the previous bridge that we saw. But yes, both bridges were desperately in need of repair. Actually, they were quite dangerous. Also here there has been a life ring installed, which is a very good move. On the other bridge where the water is flowing even more rapidly, there are actually two. This bridge sort of marks the upper end of the trail. I also decided to put a geocache somewhere around here. So let's a quick look at some variants of geocaches that you can find. Very often a small size is like an old film roll size, and you have a paper geocache log in there. Some are a little bit more resembling naturally occurring phenomena. This is actually a snail shell which has a waterproof container and a small magnet in there, so this would be good against something metal like a sign. A little bit more disgusting is something that looks a bit like chewing gum, which you definitely don't really want to pick up, but this one you can kind of hide in plain sight. This one has a magnet on the back, and that little black container contains a small little tiny rolled up geocache log, so they can be quite creative. By the way, that's not real chewing gum, it's some sort of rubber, just in case you were wondering. More often than not, they tend to be like these little waterproof containers. It's got a little screw-on lid with an O-ring, and then you've had the log book rolled up inside that, and these are very handy because you can hide them pretty much anywhere. Okay, we are currently on the Limerick bank of the Clare Glens, and we are starting to pass down the glen back towards the stone bridge near the road. The trail on this side of the river remains high up on the glen side wall and away from the water. Very often you can hear the water flowing down below, but it isn't always so easy to actually get down to the water from this side. Also, the path is somewhat less mucky, and in places it's gravelled, so a lot of people when visiting prefer to actually go up and down this side because it's cleaner. But if you wear the right boots, the whole glen shouldn't be a problem. Here's a demonstration that the seasons in Ireland are somewhat crazy. This spiky bush is known as gorse. It is the 3rd of January and parts of the bush are in flower. Makes no sense, but There you go. Seasons in Ireland are crazy. Can you see it yet? I have used plastic fake ivy attached to the geocache, and it blends very, very well with the natural stuff that's growing on the tree. Here it is, and it sits there really, really nicely. So this is the new section where, as part of the renovations of the footbridges, the Limerick side of the path has been clearly gravelled and is a very clean, level walk. They have renovated the steps leading down to where the middle bridge or wooden bridge is currently. So yeah, actually some quite nice work has been done here. So I don't know if the camera is going to show this, but in the distance and down in the actual low-lying lands, it's covered with mist and fog at the moment, and only trees are sticking up above the actual fog. So we're on our way back to the car. There are 2 geocaches that I still haven't checked that are beside the river, but it's quite mucky and I don't have the right shoes on, so I'm going to leave them for now and come back later on and check them out. That's about it from me for this video. I hope you enjoy visiting the Clare Glens with me, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next video. This is Kevin signing off. All the best. Moin moin.